2:30. Okay. Hello. I am L Donley, contemporary romance writer extraordinaire, and today I am running down my top 5 favorite characters of mine, obviously, in honor of my Amazon book giveaway on Amara's Calling, which is the first book in the Billionaire series, my debut novel. Possibly my best novel, still, in my opinion, IMO. Now, you're probably thinking that me talking about my favorite characters in my own books is kind of vain and braggy, but the truth is that I'm pretty sure every author loves their own characters the best. I mean, right? So, and I love mine because I spent a lot of time obsessing over the storylines of my books and giving my characters the right combination of dimension, flaws, strengths, conflicts, and I've really grown to love them. So, just like readers grow to love characters. So now I'm going to pick 5 of my faves, which is kind of hard, actually, I'm not going to lie. Now, I'm sure that you have noticed by now that I am a writer of color. And yes, I do write primarily interracial and multicultural romance. But don't click away just yet. I do write for everybody. I don't write for a audience. I write for a reader. So if you are a type of reader who loves love and HEAs, happy endings, and escapist literature, perhaps. And maybe you also are, what am I trying to say? If you're the type of reader who doesn't mind being challenged a little bit in favor of a really good payoff romantically, then you might like my books a lot. If you like realness in a story of, maybe not necessarily the scenarios, but the characters, real writing, real relationships, and of course, real heat. Then if you're that type of person, then you should continue to listen. If not, then you may leave. Drives you, but it really doesn't. Then feel free to leave. Now, onward. So the book I'm giving away, again, is Amara's Calling. And lucky for you, 4 of the 5 characters that are featured in the list are in the first book. And they're also in the other 2 that are in this series. So if you win, you'll get to experience those characters and fall in love with them for yourself. Or, as in sometimes the case is that you slightly hate them, which is also an option. They can still be your favorite, even if you slightly hate them. But I don't think you're going to hate any of these. But, judging by the reviews, you can never be too sure about that. Number 5, I guess we're doing a countdown situation. Number 5 favorite character is Dale Abernathy, who is the best friend of Grayson Davis, who is the main protagonist in Amara's Calling. And he is also the COO of the company that they both created, which is basically Facebook, but it's called Webster in the book. And Dale's a co-creator, and they're both computer nerds, but he's a little more down to earth. He is really sociable. He's got 3 older sisters, so he knows how to interact with women. Grayson, not so much. Grayson was sort of like his pet project. They grew up together. They were best friends since they were little. And Grayson has some challenges And Dale is the guy that helped him with his challenges. He is one of my favorite characters because I think he's a strong supporting character in the first book. And I was really excited to give him his own story and give him his own romance and give him a good lead opposite him that would compliment him. And I feel like I did that. Some people will disagree, but I really love his romance. The main thing that I super love about him is that when I didn't know what direction I was going to go with him in the beginning, and he was just going to be another playboy guy, and I was just kind of wrestling with how to turn him from this supporting character who's sort of like the voice of reason and stuff into this playboy person. And then I was like, well, maybe just don't do that. And instead I made him this guy who actually wants to be, who's you know, an alpha in his own right, and you know, rich obviously, but the guy that wants a relationship and wants to settle down, but just can't because he can't find the right girl. And that really opened up that story and made it awesome. So I really think that's unique. I haven't really seen another character like that where, you know, doing the billionaire thing, but he is really genuinely trying to find someone. So I love that about him. And I also love that he still has like playboy tendencies because he has been running around with other playboys for the last decade. And so, you know, he knows his way around, but he's really just looking to settle down. And so I love Dale. He might be my favorite, but it just depends on the day. But yeah, these are characters, so they're not all guys. So he is the third guy on the list. My fourth favorite character is Kim, who is featured in the first book very briefly. She's featured in all the books briefly until she gets her own, which is the third and final book. She is a gregarious, boisterous woman. She is an extrovert. She's an alpha woman. And she's just, the reason why she's on the list is because I'm probably the least like her. And I was really worried that I wasn't going to be able to pull her off for a full book. And I'm so happy with the way that she turned out. Oh my gosh. Like, she has some of the best lines. And I'll just let y'all be surprised. A lot of people are in their feelings about her because she is who she is. And and some people think I don't know, making fun of, you know, Black women being a certain way, but I guarantee you everyone that reads her knows her immediately and has met her. And I don't think I'm the only one that believes that this archetype deserves an over-the-top romance. And that's what I gave her, and it's great, and I love it. So number 3 is Amara from Amara's Calling. She is smack in the middle. She's not, the only reason she's not my favorite is because she's so close to my actual personality, because this was my first book and I just didn't want to venture too far out there right when I know. And so I made her very much, I mean, she's basically like I would say like 85% me, possibly 90. The remaining percentage is just the things that happened to her that have never happened to me. So, you know, I've never been pursued by a billionaire. So there's that, but everything else is pretty much me, which is also why she's on the list, because she is, you know, an iteration of me. And it's really cool to see people connect with her and identify with her, you know, and not just people of all walks of life saying like, oh my gosh, like this is so like I can so relate to her and her, where she's at in her life. She's mid-20s. I mean, this is basically a snapshot of me in my mid-20s and just kind of not knowing what to do with her life and, fresh out of school and just being like, okay, I got the degree and now what do I do? And so I think a lot of, it's very new adult. I think a lot of people can really relate to just the not having direction right away and feeling like you should and feeling pressure to already know what you want to be and stuff like that. And so I don't know how much I want to give away about that, but even the controversial sex contract that happens in the book, I might as well give that whole thing away. I don't want to catch anybody too off guard with that because it does tend to trigger people, but it's a very sort of 50 Shades-esque setup, which I kind of did on purpose and kind of didn't. There's some things I didn't know were in the book, but whatever. I've never read it, so I have no idea. But she strikes up a deal with her boss, and it has been very controversial, even though I've read it myself about 100 times. But I think it's more of the dynamic between, he's like this billionaire, technically her boss, and she's Black, and, the selling aspect and blah, blah, blah. But I think most people, three times out of 4 times, people understand where I'm coming from, and they don't really get hung up on that aspect of it, especially since I spent a lot of time on it. I don't gloss over it. It's a really main part of the book, that whole conflict. I mean, literally the characters themselves like talk about it. So it's not just this thing to gloss over. It's a major part of the book, and it gets discussed by the characters themselves. So but even that whole thing is very much me and how I would handle that and whatever. So I did, I am sort of tweaking myself and highlighting things and downplaying other things and, make it a cool character. So, but she is basically the stuff that makes me. So number 2 is a protagonist that y'all don't know about yet, because he's going to be in my next release. That's probably going to be out in April. I just released Leftovers with Benefits. That just came out like literally a couple days ago. And I'll be promoting that for a little while. And then I'm going to get to the next book. And I am so excited about this dude that I made. His name is Dario, and he is Italian, folks. And he is all the things. Like, I really like him a lot. It's hard to do without giving anything away, but I'm real excited about this textbook because it's going to explore Italy, which really made an impact on me. I did a study abroad in Italy, and it's been a while now. It's been like over a decade ago, but it made a huge impact on me to the point where I had to make a whole book about it, or inspired by it. And I mention it in a couple of the books too, because Amara too has done a study abroad, and and it's really something that I can't wait to add to that conversation romantically. Having a Black heroine lead and an Italian lead, and it's just, good stuff, good fireworksy stuff. And the heroine's great too, but he's high on my list, I guess, because I'm just in that space right now and I'm working on him right now. So I'm just like, I love it right now. And then number 1 is Grayson Davis, because he is the OG. He's the OG. He is the one that started it all. The very first burst out of my subconscious was this guy, and he is he's a hot mess, but we love it because I just love that he's all the things, but he's also really flawed, and he is got challenges. He's not a typical billionaire guy at all. And but in the way he is, he's got the stuff that we all like about that. And then it's basically all the stuff that you love. That's just, some of it's just complete nonsense. The other part is complete fantasy. But I really tried hard to root those things in real, what could cause that combination. So, yeah, he's great. He, and him and Amara, like, I can't even. I'm going to do another one that's like my 5 favorite couples, which is literally, I have like 5 books. Like all the couples. But I'm going to do another one of those. But so I won't go too much into their dynamic. But he's just, he's gorgeous. He's rich. He is, a playboy and very selective. Sought after by all, and yeah, he's just great. He's great. And sorry, I'm having a moment. I just love reading about him. I love his perspective. Yes, I'm treating them all like real people. I can't help myself. He's got a jealous streak. He's just got it all. He's just checking all the boxes. He's the guy, you think you've read all the billionaire ones and you've read them all and you're just like, whatever. You got to read one more. You should read one more, and this one should be the one. So that is my list of the 5 favorite characters that I've written so far. I still have a handful of characters, obviously, in the works that I'm starting to get attached to. And I think you're really going to love them. So please stay tuned for that. Check me out on social media. The links are in the description box. If you're not into like super social things, if you just want to know when the books are out, you can follow me on BookBub or Amazon. That should notify you new releases. And also, if you don't win the free book in the giveaway, just consider purchasing the book, the first book. It's 99 cents right now. There's a baby on my, what? What's that, baby? Yeah. You want me to tie it? All right, turn around. So yes, please consider buying it. I know even if you've sworn off all billionaire romances, trust me, I've seen the catalog and I can relate. I understand, but I promise you this one will be worth your time. And if you bought 50 Shades, then you literally have no excuse. Go get the book. It is exclusively on Amazon right now, also, and Kindle Unlimited. So for those of you with KU, you really have no excuse. So that is all I'm going to say for you today. Thank you for watching till the end. If you're still listening, thank you for tuning in. And I'm going to try to end this stream without making a fool of myself.